What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the bottom of the map in the blue color, playing as Oranos. His name is Grass the Kid. His opponent today in the red color, bringing out his Gaia for the first time, it seems, in the group stages. I'm not actually sure. Maybe he's brought it out already, but the first time, the Gaia expert, the top #1 Gaia player in the world, maybe. His name is Kvoth. I'm excited here. I'm excited. This is possibly the best map in this matchup for Gaia to be being picked. Many different reasons for it, but there's just simply not going to be that much hunt here on this map. And as I say that, there seems to be a considerable amount of hunt, and this is now turning into be a very, very difficult pick here for Kvoth to make work. We'll have to wait and see. I'm excited nonetheless for Kvoth here. Seeing his Gaia, it's always going to be a fun one. He's always coming up with interesting ways to play. Personally, I quite like Gaia in this matchup. I think that Gaia has got a lot of the advantages here, because generally in a mirror matchup, and you can call a Lantian a mirror matchup or not a mirror matchup if you like, but in a mirror matchup, playing defensively in general is the better way to play in general. And Gaia plays defensively much easier than Oranos does in this matchup. One, you get the cheaper economic upgrades as Gaia. Two, you get the upgrades a little bit earlier because you don't have to advance. Three, you get Spider Lair, which I think is a really good way to find advantages in this matchup. And then also 4, you have the stronger late game with your trade route going at blistering speeds, the fastest llama caravans in the West, some say. That all being said, Oranos does have some significant advantages on this map that he's going to be able to take advantages in. And that is because the Gaia has to play defensively here. Gaia can only really play defensive on one hunt spot at a time. You get your Spider Lair, you place that down on the hunt spot, and you have to defend that hunt spot obviously the units of Oranos, they're not going to be wanting to jump over those Spider Lairs and take a whole bunch of losses. But you can only really defend one hunt spot as Gaia at a time, which means there are 1, 2, 3, 4 hunt spots here on the map, which potentially an aggressive Oranos like Grass and Groom is going to be able to find the advantages there. Now, that being said, there is still obviously Gaia's advantage of being able to get flood control really early, and while building farms and getting those upgrades means you're going to be behind on the resources. Your opponent's going to be able to gather hunt, and you're going to have to build farms. It's not as bad as it otherwise could be. Is now Kvoth going to be able to advance through Leto. We're going to be seeing Prometheus coming through most likely here for Grass. I'm yet to see any Oranos player pick Oceanus. It could be because Oceanus is a rubbish god. But, yeah. Fetters of Fenrir on the map here with the extra 250 villager pierce damage. Very strong relic here. I think this is the only relic in the game that hard counters a civilization. It's the only relic. It's of all the relics I would want to take out of the game, this one would be the one. Thundercloud Shawl at the top of the map here with the reduction in pierce vulnerability. And we do see some relics getting grabbed here. The Pelter Argus here for Kvoth as he is going for those upgrades here, as well as getting himself the hand axe. Both players getting hand axe, actually. Looks like Kvoth's got himself husbandry, pickaxe, hand axe already. Counter barracks going down. Double counter barracks actually going down here. This one I am not 100% sure about, as it looks to me like Kvoth here, he just hasn't scouted that well, as he will be dropping the spider eggs down on this position. Obviously, Gaia expert here. He knows what he's doing. Obviously, this is a nice choke point here to be defending the gold mine. So obviously, this is what he's concerned about here in this game is going to be this gold mine. But I would have thought that defending wherever your hunt is early here is the most important thing. As another relic coming back here for Kvoth. If we take a look over here, we do see Grass is simply put going for the early units here. The standard military barracks, counter barracks, shenanigans. As there, the Terma are out. I'm surprised to see like mass Terma here as well from Kvoth. In my experience as Gaia, I would never build. I would try not to build any Terma against Oranos. Why? Because your Terma, they've only got 5 speed, which means that they cannot really dodge a Terma arrow, like 100%. Obviously, Terma are inaccurate, so they're going to miss a little bit. But you can't, you actually can't dodge any arrows. So it means the Oranos Terma are just simply better in every single way. A much better way to play is simply just start building Kyra Ballista from the get-go. As the citizen here, going to be retreating off of the berries. I'm going to have to retreat back into the main base here. Has a little bit of pressure onto this location, and this is where I was thinking potentially those spider layers could have been, that initial spider layer could have been a little bit more useful on this position here to defend the chicken and the berries, but Kvoth is going for that second gold mine kind of already in a way as the citizen pop out, get a little bit of shanky shanks as the Terma coming through, trying to get some good damage done onto this position here. And Grass here going to have to retreat back ever so slightly as Kvoth tries to hit the units, but he cannot get those because Gaia Terma, a little bit sad. As Husbandry now coming through for Grass as well. He's got himself 6 cows in the base remaining, plus this other cow on the ground. Plenty of resources coming through. The one thing here that I'm surprised Kvoth hasn't done just yet is attempt to sneak out, say, like an extra wood upgrade, like bowsaw early here in order to get his like extra resources for farms and stuff. He's actually having to get himself watchtowers here. Not the worst thing in the world to have to grab, but he is going for that one there as well. As you can also see, the Grass is happily grabbing Kvoth's hunt all over the place here. And Kvoth sitting in his base now, dropping down the military barracks. He's got himself 1,600 gold remaining. Plenty of gold here as the unit's pushing through onto this position. One of the big weaknesses of having Spider Lair thrown down like this is if your opponent sees it, he can actually send a citizen forward and build over this position to completely delete those spider layers. Whereas if you put your spider layers on a place where there's Gaia Lush, your opponent obviously can't build on them. So that's a really nice way to play in those positions as well. As now we're starting to see those Cairo Ballista coming out, but I have to say, that's a lot of population in Terma here for Kvoth. I'm not liking the odds of those Terma having a whole lot of success here. As Grass moves in, and look at all those Terma arrows. They just miss. They just miss. And we do see now Kvoth is going to be attempting to push over here. We've got a lot of those spider layers being dropped down onto this position. I would love a wall here as well and force your opponent through on that top side as the mana comes up early in classic Kvoth fashion here. Upgrades here for Kvoth. He still doesn't have any extra upgrades. He's on the cows. We do see a second town center coming up for Grass. And we'll see if Kvoth is going to be reacting to this by grabbing a town center anywhere, as we do see a third town center actually coming down as well, as Grass is moving across the map here with his Terma searching for something. It looks like the Oracles have spotted this here in this position, so we do see him moving up to both sides of the map. The Terma here do spot this one. Going to be able to snipe down one Terma. They're so bad. Terma is such a terrible unit. As the town center here is on the way, Kvoth checks it out. He sees it going up as another couple of citizens moving in onto this position. Can we see a citizen going down as the shockwave does come in? One citizen kill would be huge, but the town center is almost up here. And the citizen, is it going to go down? It does go down as the town center gets up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, the Terma, they've got the best pathfinding in the world. Seven Terma down for one. Oh, okay, he's away. He's away. 7 Terma down for one citizen. You do the math. Was that worth it? Not sure. As we do see a nice little raid here coming through by Grass. He gets a villager kill there. Nice players and armory coming up. Farm starting to come down here as well for Kvoth. He doesn't have plow just yet. Does have the resource for it. Plenty of gold in the bank. As a citizen going down again. That's huge. A second citizen down. Both players have lost one though. If Kvoth hadn't lost a citizen there, he'd actually be in a kind of really good position here as another Gaia Forest getting dropped. As Kvoth realizing he can probably take villages off of gold for the time being here. As he pulls back in to this position as the units here decide, nope, not today. Going to be retreating away. Don't need to put pressure onto there at all. As the units now coming up to the top side of the map. The one thing that Grass will have here is he's going to be able to go up to 145 of 145 population. And while there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spider layers on this position, that is only equal to 16 population, which is not quite equalizing the fight after all is said and done. We'll have to wait and see if Kvoth can defend here, as the units are going to be running straight through onto this position. Spider layers eating all of these units here, as Grass doesn't care. He just runs straight in here. These Carabals are going to be doing so much damage to the Murmillos here. The population differential, Kvoth is behind on the population ever so slightly, but his positioning here is beautiful, ladies and gentlemen, as we do see Grass having to retreat back here. Those spider layers did so much damage. We see the heroic age coming through for Kvoth. Does he have himself plow? Yes, he does. He needs to start getting himself the extra upgrades in irrigation and everything else here. As the third and final spider layer gets dropped down. The problem here for Kvoth is, how is he going to be able to defend this gold mine and get himself town centers here? The big thing that he can do, because he's got Gaia and Gaia's strength with the extra upgrades and things like that, is he can build farms, he can get flood control, and he can try and get to the Mythic Age here and hit some sort of Mythic Age timing after all is said and done. Alternatively, you can try and find a sort of choke point. He doesn't have Gaia Forest just yet, but he could try and get himself that fourth and final Gaia Forest here to try and sit in on this cliff while he tries to push through. Maybe wedges army in here to try and get the town center up or something like that. Could be an idea as well. As Kvoth here, he's still sitting back. We got a slight villager lead has been created here for Grass, but I mean, Kvoth's got to realize that Grass is just spamming units. So he's not, so long as he gets just a little bit of economic advantage here in terms of upgrades, he's simply going to be in the lead in terms of income at this point, because Grass has only got 18 citizens. That's just simply put how it works. So he can be very happy here with throwing down a palace, for example, on this gold mine and being completely fine here as the raid's starting to search around for Kvoth. He's trying to find something to take out. Military barracks coming up over here as well, as the heroic age about to come through here for Grass. As what is he picked? Obviously, they are the god of choice for the time being. Hecate is now coming through for Kvoth. Part of me likes the Hecate pick. Part of me hates the Hecate pick. The part of me that likes it is obviously Hecate is good. But the fact of the matter is here that Grass, he's got 18 citizen only on 145 population worth of army. An implode on this army here would erase the army. Absolutely. Which would then mean he could get his town centers and get himself into a position where he can where he can kind of win the game. Because he's not behind on citizens count at all. Well, I mean, 2 citizens is behind, but in terms of upgrades and things like that, or Gaia advantages in terms of economy, he's not behind. So implode here, but not the god of choice, as you do see the term is searching around, ready to drop that Tartarian gate down as the army looking to take this fight here. What is Kvoth? You got all these beautiful things on the back here. We do see Shockwave coming through, the units pushing forward. Terma on this position is trying to take out some of those citizens. He's got to be very, very careful that that's his line of sight in the main base. There is an Oracle over here that he can utilize to drop that Tartarian gate, as well as the units pulling back in onto this position. Kvoth here, no gold in the bank for the time being here. Retreating back past those spider layers here as the spider's taking those units out. Kvoth retreats through his gate as the unit's pushing in. There's the Mythic Age, Tartarian Gate gets dropped into the main base as the villagers on this position getting taken down. Spider layers picking off even more of these units. But now Kvoth here, he needs to get his town centers up. He needs to do something. We do see a palace coming up in the middle of the map there as the villagers on the gold getting taken out, as the town center over here might get taken down as well. As the unit's pushing forward, there is a Lampede here that manages to convert the Stymphalian bird as well, as the units retreating back for the time being here. And we'll see how it all goes as the town center here going to be getting taken down relatively quick. Does manage to keep it alive as the army coming through here to distract the Tartarian spawns, but the Tartarian spawns going to be starting to go straight after that army there as Kvoth sees the center of this map. 3 citizen onto this town center. Can he get that one up? I imagine Grass is going to start sending units over there immediately, as Kvoth, he's not going to be able to get these buildings down fast enough here. You'd have to imagine. The other thing here that Kvoth hasn't done, which I think is probably a bit of a mistake, is he didn't drop the Gaia Forest onto the Tartarian Gate. This is one of the big advantages of Gaia's Hecate over Oranos is that you can drop a Gaia Forest on top of the Tartarian Gate to block the surface area that your opponent can attack it with to keep it alive for even longer. As units over here getting pushed back, we do see that Kvoth here is going for some sort of a gold star, but there's just units everywhere here, or gold mines, I should say, everywhere here in this game. As now, not only that, we're starting to see Grass getting himself those Contarius out. Grass is at 24 citizen. Town center here still not up, as a Arcus coming through to hit that one down as the destroyers coming in to start taking down this position. But it looks like Kvoth here is not able to quite make it work. Hero Oracle getting converted too little, too late. Kvoth gets himself the town center. Irrigation coming through for Grass at this point, as meanwhile on this location here, 3 citizen idled as well. Units in the corner of the map. Kvoth has distracted them off as the army now coming into this position. Kvoth has got a bit of a mountain to climb here now, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see if he's going to be able to make it work. As the Oracle goes down, the citizen here are going to be getting themselves farms and wood and everything else that they need on that position, as Grass comes through with the Stymphalian bird to take out this army here as best as he possibly can. Citizen jump onto that gold mine. And here's the thing now. Grass, he's got control of the center town center. He's got all of the population here. The gold mine over here still has a little bit of gold left in it, but Kvoth will have to start thinking about another gold mine here. But so long as Grass can keep control of that 4th town center, he should be in a very, very good position here. But the thing that, the weird thing in this game is that, generally speaking, the player on the 2 town centers will generally be able to get themselves fortified town centers significantly before the opponent. But in this position here, Kvoth, because he's gone for the 1 town center fast heroic, and he didn't quite get the value out of it that he would have liked to have gotten, means he doesn't have the resources to get himself that fortified town centers. Also, I mean, he's been spending a lot of that gold on Dryads as well, as the army now pushing in to try and take down this town center here as well, as the town center of Kvoth trying to stay alive. We do see a handful of units coming through here to take out the reinforcements. Will we see this town center falling? It looks like the Arcus moving close there to try and take out the villagers as the town center does fall. This is huge for Kvoth. Can Kvoth sneak citizen around here and start lushing that location up or not is the big question. The town center of Kvoth is also going to be going down here, most likely. There's just not enough army over here for Kvoth to defend this one, as the citizen going to be retreating away, utilizing that the speedy channels that it does have. Meanwhile, the army coming through into the middle town center of Grass and Grim. Grass and Grim now, though, has got himself access to fortified town center, so the town center going to stay alive for even longer. And I imagine Kvoth's home town center is now going to be under threat. The citizen over here need to retreat back, get that palace up, hold that position here. Helios is on the way, however, and this is huge for Grass and Grim's defensive efforts to get all of his stuff back up, as the Terma coming over here trying to take out those Arcus. Are going to get a decent amount of damage done onto the Arcus, but the Lampede is here. Arcus are completely fine on those fights here. It seems there's 2 or 3 trades for 2 or 3 Termers. Counter archers, I don't think they're counter archers. They're a silly unit, the Termer. Counter archers are a silly unit in Age mythology. We do see a palace coming down onto this position for grass here, as he's saying, all right, you can't have this. You can't have this town center. You can't have this town center. You're stuck. There's heavy infantry now coming through for Kvoth as well. 19 citizen to 25 citizen. Economic upgrades for grass. He's got hand axe, he's got pickaxe, he's got irrigation. Irrigation, shaft mine. So it's only a 10% boost to Kvoth's economy on gold. And he's only got, what, 4 citizen on gold? So technically speaking, he's got 4.4 citizen on gold. So it's a 5 citizen lead here at the moment for... or a 5 citizen lead in terms of income for the Oranos in this position. As the citizen coming over here, there's no Arcus here. This Stymphalian bird is going to be able to pick off a ton of citizen here. In this position, we do see a 3rd town center coming up, and a 4th town center coming up as well, as the Kvoth army decides to start taking this fight over here, as more units pushing forward onto this position as well. As we see the Mamilo going to attempt to stop that town center from going up. More citizen have fallen. We do see an Arcus hero has come in to take that Stymphalian bird down, as well as Kvoth is desperately trying to fight his way back into this game here, as the champion archers comes through for grass. As well, he's about to be in a very, very strong position. 4 town centers coming. We do see that Kvoth is trying to stop this town center from going up. 2 town centers apiece here could be a really, really good position for Kvoth. We do see the Vortex gets dropped immediately. Can it stop the town center from going up? And it looks like it does stop the town center from going up with the help of the shockwave. It's going to be staying on that 1 town center here for the time being, as now the Heca Gigantes can start pushing in to take the home town center of Kvoth out. Does he have a temple here? Is he getting Lampedes out? He's got himself 57 favor. Lampedes at this point would be an incredibly big help to defend, as the palace over here is trying to get taken down by a handful of Gaia units. The town center on the back here up for grass. He's back up to 3 town centers. He can start trying to take out this 5th town center, I guess, for grass here as well. As in that moment, Kvoth does decide to tap out. Grass played this one incredibly well here, ladies and gentlemen. I do think that had Kvoth gone for an implode here instead of gone for the Tartarian gate, he would have been able to pick off all of the army of grass with that implode, following that up with potentially taking out this position, getting himself the 3 town centers. I do think that picking off all the army is worth more than that Tartarian gate distracting the army. Obviously, you do need to utilize the implode well, but Kvoth here went for the Hecate and unfortunately could not fight his way back in this game. If you guys enjoyed this one, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next game.